Hey everybody. As some of you may already know, about a week ago I went to a record expo in New York City. It was held at the Holiday Inn in Uptown Manhattan, and I was looking forward to this for quite some time. Thankfully, I did a little bit of research before I actually went there, and knew that it was going to be on the small side. After I got to this convention and spent about an hour looking around and re-looking around, I left. Now, I know this is going to come as a surprise to people, but I went there looking specifically to find things related to the Cars. Now, I am a Cars collector. I've been a Cars fan since 1981, I think, when Shake It Up first came out. And that was when I really fell in love with them. They are my favorite band. I will collect anything that I can find with the Cars. Now, it's not like with bands like Kiss or with the Beatles, where you find stuff all the time and you're actually going to go broke if you collect everything of theirs that you find. So you won't go broke collecting things from the Cars, but you don't find a lot. I mean, you don't find a lot of posters. You don't find a lot of commemorative glasses or really just anything. There's no board games, stuff like that. But you do occasionally find T-shirts, obviously, and there are some posters out there. You have to really go looking for them, but mostly stuff that you find of theirs is records. And I have all of the regular records. I have all of their solo albums, except for a few of Elliot Easton's albums. Some of the things that he's released with the Tiki Gods and some other things. He's done a lot of session work. I don't have a lot of that, but mostly I've been focusing on singles, the 45s, and I wanted to buy more. I have a whole list of them that I actually keep on my phone. I've got several of them, and I'm working through it. I'm going to get to all of them. It's, as any record collector knows, it's not so much about finding them, but it's actually enjoying the hunt. So anyway, I'm in New York. I went to this thing at the Holiday Inn, and I found one copy of Candio, and I found 2 copies of Heartbeat City, and that was it. And those are the regular records. I have those. So I left there, and I made my way downtown to Bleecker Street Records, which I'd heard a bit about and had always wanted to go and visit. It's 2 levels, really, really well organized, and the stuff that they have is perfect. For any record collectors out there, I highly recommend a visit to Bleecker Street Records. It is a little small, but the prices, I think, are very reasonable, and if something is in a bag and if it says mint condition, it's in mint condition. I had a fantastic experience there. The staff was also really, really very helpful. So I went with a few records that I have duplicates of, including Cars records. And one of my goals while I was there was to go from having 2 copies of the same record to whittling it down to 1 copy of the same record. I failed. Not only that, I failed up. I came home with 3 copies of this record, but I'll get to that in a second. Most of the stuff that I found was Cars related, but there was one thing that I found that I could not pass up that was not Cars related. Let me show you. This is a 45-inch single for a song called Kiss in the Dark by Pink Lady. Who is Pink Lady, you may ask? This is Pink Lady.
Because you kiss in the dark, run away, kiss in the dark.
why would I buy this? That's what you're asking. Well, Pink Lady were a extraordinarily popular Japanese pop disco duo in the late 1970s. They were huge in Japan. They were so huge, in fact, that executives at NBC decided that they needed to put a variety show together for this duo. So, indeed, they did that. It was the summer of 1980, and Pink Lady got their own limited edition summer run variety show. Nobody really seemed to mind that the girls didn't speak English. But anyway, they got this show, and I loved it. I guess my taste in comedy wasn't really that good then. So anyway, that's my little aside from all the car stuff. The first thing that I found when I walked into Bleecker Street Records, I walked right over to their 45s and went right into their 80s section. And I found this. You might think, you'd be surprised, you might think that, hey, you might think, see what I did there? You might think that me being a huge Cars fan, and you might think being one of their biggest hit singles, that I would have this 45 already. Not so. When the Cars were in their heyday, I was not actually collecting everything of theirs. I mean, I bought the records, I eventually bought the CDs, but my criteria for buying a single was if it had a rare B-side, something that wasn't on any of the records. And the only one off of the Heartbeat City album that had a rare B-side was Why Can't I Have You? So I have that 45, the B-side being a song called Breakaway. And but I'm still on the lookout for that 45 because I actually want to get all of the picture sleeves as well. And so I found this one, and in really very, very good condition. I was really very happy. I said, okay, this is going to be the place where I'm going to find the most stuff. And I did a bit more searching around, and I did indeed find some more stuff. This one. Sad Song. Sad Song was the single off of the band's 2011 album, Move Like This. It was the first single in something like 27 years. Really good, catchy song. I was very, very happy to find this. I remember seeing this several years ago when I worked for Newbury Comics, and I never bought it then. So this is another one that I just recently scratched off my list. Very, very good song. So now we get to the point that I came home with more copies of an album than I intended. I take you all the way back to 1985. It's been a couple of years since Heartbeat City has come out, their most successful record, and they're taking some well-deserved time off. The only Cars song that came out that year, they did a greatest hits album, which had the song Tonight She Comes on it. And the band went off to do their own solo projects. Rick Ocasek already had a solo album out back in '82 called Beatitude, and his next solo album wasn't actually going to come out. Didn't come out until 1986. That was This Side of Paradise, the same year that Ben Orr's solo debut, The Lace, came out. So, 1985, the first member of the Cars to come out with a solo album is their guitarist, Elliot Easton. This is an original copy of the album Change No Change. I bought this, like I said, in 1985. It's a really, really good album. It's a departure from any Cars albums. Both Rick and Ben's albums were kind of continuing in the pop vein. They both had pop top radio hits on it. But Elliot really veered away from that, and he wanted to show his love for 60s garage pop and garage rock and surf rock and whatnot. And so this is very guitar garage record. It's a very good record, featuring this single, not really a hit single, but it was a single, and it was a video that got some play on V66 here in Boston, and MTV. The song is called "Wearing Down Like a Wheel."
So I see us wearing down like a wheel. Do you think it's time to stop? And I can promise your friends don't know how this feels. I don't care the way they talk. So believe the life that you hated with your will alleviated. Resign that your life was your fate.
So, add one copy of this album. A few months ago, I found myself walking around in Boston, and I went to a few different record shops in there. Again, looking for anything that they had related to the cars. What I found was a picture disc single of, I believe it was of Since You're Gone, and a couple of other songs on it. And I thought, oh wow, I used to have that, so I bought it. And I also found the 45-inch single for Just What I Needed, red vinyl. I was like, oh my god, I have to buy this. Okay, so turns out I already had both of them. I had forgotten about that. So that was kind of a fail on my part. But one thing that I knew that I already had, but I had to buy another copy of, was Elliot Easton's Change No Change. And the reason why I bought this, because it has Elliot's autograph on it. That's right. And oh, this is actually a white label promo. Now, granted, my name is not Stuart, but Stuart's a nice name. I've been called worse. So I went from having one copy to having two copies. Granted, there is a difference. So when I went to New York, I thought, you know what? I have all of this stuff on CD. I don't need two copies of the album, so I'm going to try to sell my original copy of Elliot Easton's Change No Change. I wanted to whittle it down from two copies to one. Boy, did I fail. I failed, but I failed up. There's a reason why I bought a a third copy of this album. Reason why I bought this third copy is because of a press kit that came with it. This, like the autographed one, is a promotional copy. This comes with a bio of Elliot and more about his influences. They kind of assume you already know that he's the guitarist for the Cars. But more about his influences and where he's kind of coming from with this record. And also, as part of the press kit, there's the picture of him. So, I am now probably the Guinness Book of World Record holder for, I can't even balance all of these, for the number of copies of Elliot Easton's Change No Change. I can guarantee that I have more copies than Elliot actually does. So anyway, that's my little story of my record excursion for last week. So, if there's anybody out there that has any Cars-related material that they are looking to part with, I'm the guy.